Alright, welcome everybody. I'm just gonna tell you really quick the gear I use and the talent I use to do the Havoc Demon Hunter challenge to get the flame blades that look fucking sick actually. So I'm gonna go right into it. The first phase I use the demonic I-beam build. Oops, this is not wrong. I have been using this. Alright, so I use the helmet, legendary, and the ring just for DPS purpose. Well, the ring is for DPS purposes. The helmet is just to help me do more I-beam in order to go in demonic more often, and giving me the lifesteal I need to stay alive during the encounter. And then of course Blind Fury and Demonic Appetite is a great combo for the I-beam build. Then what you do at the end of the first part of the encounter, you have to change build because you need to use two different builds for that. So I used the equipment manager in World of Warcraft. You make two sets, one for the first phase, one for the final phase. You can simply drag them out in your cast bar if you want to. You can keybind your cast bar then if you really want to go that far, but it's not needed. As a Night Elf, you can easily shadow meld out of the first encounter to go faster, but you don't need to. So at the end of the first phase, you just press on your keybind, your gear will change. And my gear for the second encounter was Legendary Ring for DPS and Dresser also for DPS, using these talents right now. So you want to change to these talents. Being Momentum or Eruption, it's not a big deal for me. That's why I want Momentum. I just wanted less keybind basically. Bloodless is really good with the Master of the Glaives for the ads. Dealing with the ads is really great with that. And then, well, this doesn't really matter in the last phase. This is completely useless in the last phase, so this might be better, but not really. Actually, this one would be better in the last phase. Use the blur to take less damage because you don't heal that much in the last phase. You heal when you kill the ads because you get orbs, but that's pretty much it. So you want to avoid taking too much damage, so don't stand in the ground in the last phase. So this is the sets I've used. This is the second phase, and the other one for the first phase. So I'm gonna show you the video where I did it. Over here, and I'm gonna talk about it as we see it. So let's go here. Encounter is gonna start soon. So I open with the I-beam just to go in the Demon form because the first Ice Cage comes pretty quick. So I just do that to stay full life and to do big DPS. Wait. Fucking loading. I'm doing a video right here, please. Alright, so what the fuck? Why is there a cage on the... Oh, because it lagged. Alright, we didn't see it. That's fucking dog shit. Okay, we will be able to see it now. Fucking Twitch. Alright, so fight start. I go I-beam. I use my cooldowns. I do damage. The first cage will come up. You always want to be near the middle. So I use my stun right here in order to generate souls. I glide over, and I use an I-beam on the shards. The reason why I do this, well, the orbs reset my I-beam, so I use my I-beam on the shards. I have the helm, legendary helm. So my I-beam get reset. I go on the bus. I use my demonic on the bus, do DPS. When my I-beam expired, I refresh it with the I-beam. So on the next cage, my I-beam will not be ready. It's gonna come up right there. I've got 20 seconds to go. I use the stun, generate souls, jump over it, and I went straight to the bus because I was really close. So I didn't reset my I-beam on this time, but it's like you don't need to reset the I-beam, which means you don't need the legendary helm to do that. So don't be like, oh, I don't have the helm, I can't do that. That's dog shit. You can still do it. So it's harder because you need to time your stuff right. Avoid damage as you can, but the helm is just, again, I didn't use my I-beam on the shards because the boss was nearby. When he's far, when I'm not sure where he is, I don't mind. So always come back near the middle because the closer you are to the middle, the closer you are to him when he blinks away. What the fuck, Twitch? Oh my god. Sorry about that. So Arcane Phase, you need to, again, try to be in the middle, so you can just dash and you're right there. You can also use your real metamorphosis to leap all the way over to the target, but you can only do it once in the encounter. You want to do it early in the encounter because you don't want your meta to be on cooldown when the big boss comes out. So make sure you kick that drain power, gives him a perma buff that increases damage. Also, see, just before he blinks, try to go near the middle, so you've got an edge. When you kick, yeah, you can move him. So once you've done it a couple times, you're able to kind of get on when he's gonna blink. Like, there's timers. Eventually the BM will probably add some alert warning, like in Raid, to tell you when the ability are coming up. So even if I'm not near the middle, like right there I use Netherwalk, so I cannot fight right as I come out. But like if you're a little far, using Netherwalk, you get immune damage immunity from the shadow phase, so you just walk up to him, but you're still getting slowed. So if like you've got about 2 or 3 seconds before you get slowed, and the nether walk doesn't remove the slow, it just prevents the damage. So again, use the stun. I used the I-beam from inside. I'm not sure why. I think because I was low life. Going outside might have killed me because of just taking damage over time. So I used the I-beam inside to avoid dying before I get out. So my beam was reset. I'm able to refresh my demonic again. So again, try to bring him to the middle, so whenever he blinks, he's not that far. Dodge the orbs. You don't need 2 DPS when he does that. I like 2 DPS, especially when I'm low life, trying to generate soul shard, not soul shard, laser soul frag on the ground by doing Chaos Strike procs in order to heal myself. But if you're full health and when he does the orbs, you don't really need to DPS. It's like, just make sure you don't get hit because you're gonna get a one shot. Well, if you're full health, you will survive, but you don't really want to take that damage. So again, bring him to the middle. That's the most, well, it's not the most important, but it's a really good trick. So he's at 32%. He's at 10%. He goes into the last phase. Dodge the orbs as usual. Kick some spell, use blur sometimes when you don't want to take too much damage. If you know your I-beam is far from being ready, dash over him. Like, you don't even need to kill these ads to make your way. You just make sure you have both dash and you're fine. If you don't, you use Netherwalk and meta. But as I said again, this was bad. This was really bad. I was scared from dying. It's a good thing I had spells and he started casting this. I managed to get back to the bus before I lost my demonic, so it wasn't that bad. But like, my blur is down right there. Now I want to DPS because I want to proc laser soul frag in order to heal myself. I got 1, and I think I got 1 at the end too. I only got 1, so it did help me. I used the kick to take damage. I-beam is coming up soon. I'll be fine. I don't have my kick. I need to use that stun for this. He did get a stack, but he's at 17%, so it's no big deal. He blinked away. I'm really far. I'm losing demonic uptime. That's bad for me, but I mean, it's still managed to make it. So there it goes. This is gonna be the last images. So double dash, volt. I'm almost dead, but I got a kick and I push him to 10 or something like that. I used the shadow, but it didn't work. My blur was up. I was almost dead, man. That was a really close phasing. Like, now he's not doing damage. I'm like, please, please, procs. I got 1. I cage him out, my beam is back. So sometimes use your cage to let your I-beam come back up. Like, use it as a full CC. Let the duration stay for your cooldowns to come back up. Like, in this phase, you don't need to DPS, you need to stay alive. So do everything you need to stay alive. As long as you stay alive, you will phase in the last one. So right there, Shadow Meld. My Shadow Meld didn't work for some reason. I was still stuck in combat, so even if you're Blood Elf, you can still do it. You just wait a little, you'll drop out of combat, you change your gear with the macro you put on your spell bar. Right there, you click on it and the gear is equipped. So right now I've got a ring and the bracers. Pull him in the corner in order to make sure he doesn't put stuff on the ground in the middle from the start. Pop your cooldowns. Like, you can see he's melting right now. I'm doing a lot of damage. I've got like best and stud gear all over the place. So right there, he's already at 60%. It's crazy damage. Don't kick that, do not stun that, or the boss will be bugged and you will not be able to do it. Go away from the boss, spawn the ads, stun them, use your cooldowns, use Bloodlet to kill them especially and to slow them so that you have more time to kill them. So you can see that they only traveled maybe 15 yards and they had 30 yards to travel. That was safe. They gives you shards to heal yourself. That's the sustain you'll need. So make sure you don't touch the defiled ground, whatever it's called, because it hurts a lot and you don't have much healing in this phase. I mean, you do when you use your metamorphosis on the pull, so on pull if you get hit by that, it's no big deal. But once the metamorphosis is over, you want to be full health and you want to not take damage that can be avoided, because you'll see I will finish the encounter with no health, and when I mean no health, I mean no health. I barely killed him. So I'm doing DPS right there, so I'm really low health already, but the ads will give me the soul to heal. So again, do not kick that, do not stun that. So what happens if you do is the boss will still do the ability, but he will move. So right now the boss doesn't move, he is still channeling something. If you kick the ability, he will be able to move, he will come to you, and by coming to you, he will come to the ads because you're trying to kill the ads and you're a melee DPS, right? So do not kick the boss, do not stun the boss when he casts. So that was a really bad move from my part, vaulting away from the thing, moving the boss away. You saw I spawned the ground further back, so I'm gonna have less time, but my enrage timer was not the ground, but my health. So I had plenty of room still, but you can see boss health is low. I've got my cooldown ups. I used my second pre-pot or something like that at this point. Like my cooldown is not up anymore, so I'm just doing standard DPS, refresh my bloodlet, and try to bring him down before he brings me down. Darkness try to maybe save me. I don't think my darkness procced at all. Now he's casting, he's not doing damage. I'm going damage on him, making sure I kill him before they spawn because I have no more time. So right there, that's how I did it. So I don't believe there's a single legendary that is required to do the fight. No matter the legendary you have, you should be able to do the fight as long as you do enough DPS. So the only legendary requirement I see in this is the item level that you need to do enough DPS. That's pretty much it, because I didn't use any defensive legendary. The only legendary I really used that helped me was the helm for the I-beam reset. Just makes the first phase easier, but it's not needed. You just need to have the damage. You can go even more survivability on the first phase. I used the ring in the first phase. I could have used the pride ass or the blur chest, make it even easier, but I mean, I just wanted to go through it faster, I guess, but it's not required. So there you go, boys. That's what you need to do in order to get your blades. So good luck to you. Have fun. It's a really nice encounter, I believe. I'm happy with the work they've done. Well, I mean, I'm happy about for my class. For other class, I know it's not perfectly done, but yeah, that's what they did. So